Hey my viewers and subscribers, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making some nice sweet potato pudding. So if it's your first time on my channel, please go ahead and hit that red subscribe button and join the family. I would really appreciate that. And to my old subscribers, welcome back. I appreciate you guys for always coming back. I hope you're staying safe and I hope you're staying blessed. Alright, so let's get into the video. So right here I have six small, I would say small, yeah, six small potatoes. These are original Jamaican potatoes. I got them at the farmer's market, and I'm just gonna peel them, and today I'm gonna be as authentic as possible, so I am going to grate them. Normally I would just cut them up and blend them with my coconut milk, but I'm gonna grate it. So usually you would use the smallest part of the grater to grate the potato, but as you can see, the smallest part is at the side and that's gonna hurt my hands. So I'm using the next size up, but as I said before, you can just cut these up and blend them with your liquid ingredients. So now that I'm done grating my potatoes, I'm gonna grate a piece of yam in this, and this is what this does, is it helps to bind the potatoes together. You know, potato is very soft when it's cooked, and you don't want your potato pudding to be mushy. You want it to be firm, so this is gonna work as a binder. And I'm also gonna add some dry ingredients to help to bind the potato together as well. But if you have yellow yam, white yam, it doesn't matter, just go ahead and use piece, just a small piece, depending on the amount of potato pudding that you're making. So guys, this is all the dry coconut that I have in my fridge, so I'm not going to use all of it. I'm just going to take out piece and grate it to go in my pudding, and then I'm going to use, for my liquid ingredients, I'm going to use the tin coconut milk. Alright, so now we're just going to combine our dry ingredients, and I'm using 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to use half cup of cornmeal, and I'm going to sift this, and I'm also going to add a tablespoon of cinnamon powder and a teaspoon of nutmeg and a teaspoon of my mixed spice. If you have allspice, you can go ahead and use that as well. So as I said before, the flour and the cornmeal is going to help to bind the potato together, you know, to make it nice and firm. So after adding all my spices, I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt, and then I'm going to use my whisk and just combine everything. So in this bowl I have 2 cups and a quarter of coconut milk, and I'm going to add my coconut mixture that I grated and just combine all of that. Then I'm going to add a tablespoon of vanilla, and then I'm going to add a cup and a quarter of sugar. So when you're mixing this, you want to taste it to see if you want to add more sugar or not. Everyone's taste is different, so normally I'll just taste mine and see if it's okay to my taste, and then I'll add more. But for right now I'm adding a cup and a half of brown sugar. So after combining my sugar mixture, I went in with 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and then I am going to gradually add my potatoes, and then I gradually add my dry ingredients. So after combining everything, this is the texture that you want to have. It's supposed to be soft and moist. It's not supposed to be runny, and it's not supposed to be all dry, you know. So if it's runny, you want to go in and add more dry ingredients. So I'm just gonna taste it now, and it have the perfect amount of spice. It just needed a little bit more sugar to my liking. So what I'm gonna do, instead of adding the brown sugar, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of honey, but that is quite optional. And I'm gonna pour it in my Dutch pot. I'm gonna bake it in the Dutch pot today, and I'm just gonna grease it with some butter. The butter is gonna help it to slide out of the pot easier, and it's also gonna give it a nice crust on the outside. So I'm just pouring it in my pot now, and you see that texture? That's the texture that you want when you're baking the pudding. If it's runnier than this, guys, just add a little bit more flour and spice. And if it's drier than this, then you might want to add just a little bit more coconut milk and mix it up. So guys, when I grated my potatoes, I went ahead and I preheated my oven. So my oven was preheated at 280 degrees, and that's where I'm going to start my pudding off. I'm going to use my spoon to level the pudding off, and then I am going to cover it with some foil paper. So what the foil paper does, it prevents the pudding from drying out too quickly. You know, it's going to keep it nice and moist and let it cook slowly. So I'm going to cover it with foil paper. If your Dutch pot comes with a cover that doesn't have any plastic on it and it's safe to go in the oven, then that's fine. You can cover it with your pot cover instead. So guys, after 1 hour, I'm going to remove the foil paper and pop my pudding back in the oven so that it can get some color. And then after 1 hour and 15 minutes, we're going to add our soft top. So for the soft top, I have 1 cup of coconut milk. You can use half cup if you're using a baking tin, because it wouldn't need so much. But because the Dutch pot is broad, I'm going to need more coverage than if I am using a baking pan. Alright, so I added 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, just to flavor my soft top. Alright, we're just going to mix this up, and after 1 hour and 15 minutes, we're going to pour it all over the top and pop it back in the oven for another 15 minutes. So there you have it, guys. The pudding is out and it's ready, and it's looking lovely, and it tasted so good. I am gonna make this cool down. Whenever you make a pudding, guys, make sure that you let it cool. If it's even overnight or for at least 3 to 4 hours, let it cool all the way down. Don't try to remove it when it's hot. It's gonna break apart. So I use a spatula to lift the sides, and then I take it out. As you can see, it came out real easy and nice, and it had a lovely crust on the sides and at the bottom. So As you can see, it kind of shaped like a pie because it was baked in the Dutch pot. And yeah, it tastes so good. It's almost done. To be honest, it's almost finished. So I'm just gonna cut in it so that you guys can see the texture. So there you have it, guys. It's all done, and I cut 2 slices for you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. This was a super amazing pudding. I wouldn't change anything at all from the ingredients, and I'm gonna leave everything in the description box for you as well. It is nice and soft, and it's still firm. You know, it's not breaking apart. Everything was just perfect. Thank you all so much for watching my video. If you haven't subscribed as yet, please go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, don't forget to share the video with your friends and family. Stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys in my next video.